Need to appreciate our bass players. Bass players are severely underappreciated in the music world. You know, just look at videos of on YouTube, and if you look at the times that people are usually talking about the drummer and keyboardist compared to the bass, you know, just looking at that will tell you. And the bass player actually determines a very critical role. In fact, I was doing some research on it, and apparently participants had a harder time trying to establish the rhythm and the groove of a song without the bass. Even when listen to this, even when the drums and the percussion were present, when you had sounds in a higher frequency establish the rhythm, it was harder for them. And when the bass guitar came in, it actually helped to establish the rhythm and groove better for most people. And so the bass guitars, they have important functions. They establish that rhythm and groove. They actually can establish the harmonic and melodic direction as well. And I know that we say that only the keyboardist and organist do that, but the bassist is the one that, for the band itself, can establish the harmonic direction of a song. And most importantly, they serve as the foundation. So we want to give our bass players some love. If you are a bass player, listen to me. I want to tell you, as a keyboardist, thank you for the work you do. It is very important, and you're absolutely necessary and vital. And today we want to look at what determines some of the bass note changes, what allows you to kind of go outside the box in terms of the bass. And then also, what can the keyboardist do? What kind of changes can they make to fit the bass? A different video here. We're going outside the box today, but we're going to do this for our bass players today. And we thank you, and tune in. Okay, so keyboardist, do me a favor, okay? I want you to allow the bass player to be that bridge. All right, listen to me what I'm saying. In the band setting, allow the bass player to be that bridge between the keyboardist and the drummer. Okay, allow him to be the bridge, because we already said that the bass player can establish rhythmic structure, right? Even though we look to the drums for that. In reality, you hear it better when the bass comes in, right? And I want to also say the same thing about keyboardists, because I want to focus on that second. I want to focus on the second thing that I mentioned, which is that the bass player can establish the melodic and harmonic direction of a song. Now, in a band, we keyboardists, we always want to, we're like, no, we want to do it. Well, let the bass guy do it. A competent bass player is worth their weight in gold. Allow him to do it, because there are certain things you won't be able to change depending on what the bass guy is playing. And so now I'm talking about playing in a band setting, of course, but the bass guitarist can make certain changes knowing what the keyboardist is about to play if he's a competent bass player. And so that's one of the things I'm referring to. Now, if you let's look at the let me see here. So we now, in terms of the bass player establishing a harmonic direction, right? Because we know that. Hold on, let me okay. Okay, so let's look at that. So basically, we know the song and the "You Make All Things New" starts on the 4th for the bass player, so he's normally at here, right? Then he normally goes to that F. Right? And then he goes back to the 4. And then he goes to the 1. Right? So that's what he does. But notice what he does here. He goes. And he goes to a B there. It's not that the pianist didn't change that, and the pianist didn't need to change. And it doesn't and when the bass player is doing those changes, it doesn't mean that the pianist should be changing their notes, because the bass player needs a good ear too. We always focus on the keyboard player, But the bass player needs a good ear too to know. He needs to understand chords. He needs to understand what kind of changes he needs to make. This chord by itself, right? It's just a D flat chord, right? Now you can play a D flat chord there, but him playing that B on it, right? Because he should have gone to the. Actually, it should be an F minor chord, right? He's supposed to go to the F minor, right? Now, a good keyboardist. Well, no, let me not even go there. I'll save that for the second part. All right. So he changed that to a B. All right, let's go on. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try that. So you hear him doing this. You hear him doing this kind of run. He's what scale is that, by the way, that he's riffing off? He's doing. I'm gonna show you the notes, okay? And then what you're gonna have to do, and if you're a bass player watching this, you're just gonna have to figure out the stylistically what he did. But what he's doing is he's going off of the F minor pentatonic. These are the notes he's using. Let me rewind this, let you hear it again. See, he's using all notes within the F minor pentatonic scale. Now, some people could say he's also using the A flat major pentatonic. Okay. Okay, so see, and the I should be a straight D flat chord. But notice what happens here, how he changes a D flat chord into a major 7 chord, or even a major 9 actually, because of the F. Okay. And so do you see, I'm not sorry, not because of the F, but because of the A. Okay, so again, changing the melodic direction of the song simply because the bass player, by playing a G flat, changes that major chord to a 7th chord, not even in the same key. See? Same chord. D flat chord, 1 note in the bass. Look at that. Major 7. Okay? Or major 9. Okay? So that's a perfect example of a bass player establishing just by adding 1 note, changing the quality of that. Okay? Let me do that again. Okay, so he walks it down. So on forward, so the forward should have been now he's not changing the quality here when he hits that C, because it should have been right? So he's just hitting a C. So he's deciding, see, and this is the bass player having that flexibility to know that in this case it should be an A major chord. So he has a flexibility to play any note within the A major triad. So in this case he's choosing to play the 3, right? So not changing the quality at all, but still giving that nice sound for him to play that C with the A flat on top. Now he's establishing a groove. You hear that? He's got the rhythmic groove now. He can go with melody if he wants. He can go with want to establish more of a rhythm. He can do both at the same time if he wants. Now forward is an A flat major chord, right? Here's the groove again. Now forward is an A flat major chord. Let's see if he's going to change that. He didn't change it there. Maybe he'll change it later on. He can riff too. Look, he's riffing. Up there it is. All right, so now the forward should be an A flat chord, right? This isn't the key. The keyboardist don't need to do nothing. The keyboardist can play his same chords, right? So that's what it's supposed to be, but wow, look at that. Look at how that changes everything to a 9-4. A flat, still an A flat. The A flat chord didn't change, right? But on the bass guy says, I don't want to play an A flat. I want to play a B flat. He has to have that ear. He has to have that ear to know that if he changes that to a B flat, that's going to work. He's not just going to change. He's not just going to play any note, because the keyboardist has to play that A major triad. That's his quality. That's his chord quality. So the bass guy is going to have to know what chords would fit within that. Right? You never want a bass player who's just playing whatever, right? Because he doesn't want to play outside. He doesn't want to make so many changes that the keyboardist isn't able to adapt and change quality so much that it throws the vocals off. So it is a science to it, right? Okay, we did that already. Anyway, let's go on. Let me go on. All right, the second part of this. All right. So can the keyboardist do anything? Because you just told us that let the keyboardist do the same thing. Yeah, for the most part, yes. I'm saying let the bass man, if you're playing with a good bass guy, let him establish the melodic direction. You work on your ear. Okay, you work on your ear so that you can know that when the bass player makes certain changes, you are able to adapt to those changes because you are hearing the context of the change. Right? You don't force the bass player to go to your change. You do the adapting, right? And you try to adapt. And I'm talking about if you're playing with a seasoned bass player. I'm not talking about if you playing with a guy that just started and you got to help him because he can't find the one, okay? All right, but you understand what I'm saying. So let me go back. Let's see here. I would still use that there, but if he goes to that B on there, I would add the E flat in the bottom. There. Okay, because that'll round out the chord a little bit more than just keeping that chord there. And I think we had said that it should have been an F minor. If he goes to that B, so it's supposed to be right. I did say it was supposed to be an F minor there. If he changes to that B, I'm gonna kind of get off that C note. I'm gonna go to a D flat, and I'm gonna hit the E flat in the bottom, because that's gonna be a little bit harmonically is gonna be a little bit better as far as the ear is concerned. I wouldn't do anything different there. The bass player is riffing like that. I'm just gonna keep playing that same thing. So on the I, since here it seems like it's calling. Remember we said when he went to that G flat, it changed the whole quality of the chord. So now I'm gonna purposefully play a G flat major 7, right? I would probably play that chord there when he plays that G flat. So make sure that I'm... See? And now he's walking it down. He's walking that bass down. Right? So you need chords that fit within that. And right, but let me listen to that part again and see. Okay, so there you need chords. You this is where the keyboardist would have to adapt. When he starts going down, when you hear him start going down, then it kind of gives you an indication that he is going down. This may be a hard thing to do on the spot, but if your bass player tells you, no, I'm going to be walking it down from that G, and I want to go down to that C there. So if you can figure something out for that, whatever you got. And so you can have the, so you're starting on that, you make that the F major 9, and then when he goes here, and then for the next chord, that would be for your F on the bottom, right? Now he's on an E. Now some people may want to do that, but I wouldn't recommend that. I would actually probably just go to a just a E major chord, maybe make it a major 9. E major 9 rootless, right? So it would be it would sound like that while he's walking it down, which would give this is the keyboardist now providing coloring around your bass guy, making his changes stand out even more because of the fact that you're coloring his changes, right? I'm showing you the whole chord instead of playing it like I would play it with a bass player. I wouldn't even be playing the bass note, right? Because if the bass player is playing that note, why would I be playing it too? When I can provide color and context by not even playing that root and going up here and doing some other stuff here. So that's why I've been playing it without the bass note here. There's a bass note. Do you hear that against that chord? And then, why do I have a G here? Because that G is the melody. That G is the melody of where he's at, right there, right? So, right? Or you can have a C if you want there. Instead of having that E there, you can have that C. So have the 6 as the bottom, contrasting against his E flat, and then instead of going forward, when he hits the C in the bottom, you can give it a tritone by hitting the E there. So it would sound right. See? So because when he hits that C, by having that E there, the tritone is present. Okay? And that it'd be a good place to put the tritone because it's working as a transition chord. Right? Now, but those are just suggestions, all right? Just my point being that, the point being is that you hearing the bass player, he's establishing the harmonic direction. You're just trying to find chords that could possibly work. It's trial and error, but chords that can possibly work with whatever those changes are. So there the organist did go to a F major 7. There is what I heard just now with my ears. So he was supposed to, the organist, if you know, I'm gonna play it again so you can hear it, but just now I just heard the organist, instead of playing an F minor, Thaddeus still played that F, so the organist decided to play an F major there. So you hear the E, right? So you hear the F major 7 there. Do this song. That was he's just doing major thirds. He's playing in thirds. Nice little thing there, but that's a riff because it's not necessary to play with that because he's just doing that to color in between. But I want to get to that part where he changed the note to a B flat. Oh, by the way, what is that? It's just an A flat major scale. That part there on the forward where he goes. So basically what I would do at that part is, so I would, because when he's going to that B flat there, I would have to provide some really nice dissonance there. Just hit an A flat major 7 chord and voice it how you want, you know. But make sure that C is close to that B flat, so it'll be. See how that sounds there? And actually, change that. Let's make it a D flat major 7. Make it a D flat major 7, double up on the C when he gets there. And what would be really nice if you knew he was doing that would be while he goes ba ba ba, you can go ba ba da, right? So you're walking down, but it's walking down in major See, he's walking down in major second except for this other one, right? Because with the bass guy, he's going right. So so when he hits that you're here, but when he goes when he goes there, and actually not even that. I like that voicing a little bit better. But to be honest with you, I'd even voice it like I would kind of voice it like that. Now this is the chord I would use while he's going. So it'd be when he's doing. That's when you hit it, and then I'll kind of walk it down to the U. For the you make all things, right? So it'll be see, that's what you're doing as a keyboard, coloring those bass notes while he's playing and riffing. See how that sounds there against the B flat? Anyway, the chords don't matter. I guess my it's not even the chords, because we can come up with chords all day. I guess the point is that as a keyboardist, you are listening to your bass player. We don't want to just make it all about us and all about our chords and all about what we want to change. That the bass player establishing harmonic direction forces you to work with the bass player. Show the bass player some love. Give him some love, okay? Because he's an important and critical part and piece of your band. And bass players, if you're listening to this, you have permission to forward this video to some of your keyboard players, just so they can know, because you know we can sometimes think that the band revolves around us, and that's unfortunate. And this is just the honest truth. So if you're offended and you drop the channel, then great, because this is just something that needs to be said. We need to appreciate the bass players. They have an important role. If you want your band to sound good, we need to make sure that we are syncing in with him, know what he's doing, and helping each other out as a band. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you soon.